Wow. How did I first start? I guess I'm going to say that I first started at home amongst my family. I come from a very large family of 9 brothers and sisters. I'm the second to last of 9. 4 of us was born in England. The rest of the family was born in the West Indies in Jamaica. I'd like to say that I started from there because I got a lot of encouragement both from my parents and my brothers and sisters in all shapes and forms of the music. Whether it be performing for my sisters, them singing some Jackson 5, Michael Jackson music, Beatles and stuff like that. From my mother, gospel, Pentecostal music, church music. With my brothers, it was more like, you know, your Dennis Brown and your Burning Spear and everything that was reggae, that was coming out of reggae to inspire us to feel like we were somebody. We were in existence. You know, you can imagine growing up in England in a predominantly white country. You know, we went through a lot of discrimination and stuff like that, but the reggae music allowed us to feel like we were somebody. We were here for a purpose, for a reason, for a cause. And that's what really inspired me to want to take up this music and hold it as a cultural part of my life. I think that probably one would say that the best album was Bonafide that I did with Slam Robbie them, Handel Tucker and Jeffrey Chong. What was my first hit? Yes, my first hit was, I'm gonna say, is the very first song I ever did, which was Hey Little Girl. Well, I mean, you know, the whole industry has changed. So, yes, of course, more money was made back then. But then that was because you didn't have so much downloads and stuff like that. You know, music wasn't that easily accessible for people to just grab, you know, and freely do as they want with it. Things were a lot more controlled and a lot more protected, I think. You know, it's really kind of strange, and it's very difficult for me to kind of really explain, because I don't want to diss technology. Technology is a good thing. You know what I'm saying? It's just that the technology came without a lot of control. Right. You know, in order for us to progress, we have to introduce new things, and we have to accept new things, accept new technology and stuff like that. Could you imagine playing your gram today? You know, did you have a gram at your house?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Where, you know, we would stack up all the vinyl them, and you know, so we had to, even the technology had to progress, so the music industry and everything else has to progress with it. But at the same time, when it came out, it didn't really have all of its dots and crosses, you know, in line. So now you find that the industry lent itself to the technology, but the technology was too wide open, so it's kind of just pulled the industry down a little bit too. With all the progressions and everything that I've achieved in my life, you have to change. You have to change as a person to, you know, there's one thing in giving, but there's also another art in receiving. And you have to kind of have understanding to kind of humble yourself to be able to receive, and also not allow things to kind of like carry you astray, you know, get too overexcited and get too carried away with all the glamour that comes with the entertainment world. You know, I like to think that I'm a grounded kind of person. You know, I come from a very large and solid family. You know, so if I kind of got out of place anyway, they would soon put me in place. You know, but yes, life has changed. I've been able to afford many different things that my parents them could not afford. My parents were a very hard working class family. I endure a lot of extra stuff that the average person probably would not. But that doesn't mean to say that I have to be stupid about it or silly about it. And that doesn't mean to say I have to take these things for granted. You know what I'm saying? Because God give and He shall also take it away if you abuse it. You know what I'm saying? So I like to think that yet I have not abused what I have achieved. Working with you before and was an honor and a pleasure, and something that I would be willing and glad to do anytime now and whenever. I think that they are pioneers. I think that those guys have done so much for the industry, both on a pop side and also on the reggae side of things. And that's something that I appreciate from them, and the appreciation goes out to the fact that they asked me to work with them. The folks who are from the culture have to support the art. If they don't physically spend money and buy and support what the artist is doing, the artist is going to end up doing plumbing or carpentry or some form of building work, because you have to be able to maintain it. You understand? It was an honor and a pleasure to work with VP on this, with the likes of Balby, Handel Tucker, the Red Boys from out of Barbados, Sly and Robbie, you know, Donovan Jermaine. There was so many, and for those who I haven't mentioned, you know, please forgive me. But it's been a while since I've done an album, and this new album is simply called Easy to Love, which I think I'm kind of easy to love. I'm proud of it. It's very much a lover's rock kind of album. It's a time and a moment that, you know, most men with their wives or their girlfriend will share. I would like to think that we've grown. The music has spread wider across the globe. I'd like to think that we've progressed from the great Bob Marley and Dennis Brown and Gregory Isaac and all the pioneers that were there way before us. I personally feel like we've done a decent job. You know, we've done a decent job. A lot more artists now are able to travel the globe and carry the music to corners that even the great Bob Marley wasn't able to physically.